Network.
Bring back that beat, DJ. Well, welcome back to the Fourcast. We are the three cast right now. We will be back together as a group next week. So definitely stay tuned. I know it's been a minute. I need to change my. Okay. I know it's been a minute since you've seen the four of us on screen. We had the Dallas Stars playoffs going on, so that was the reason. BS3 Network was covering that, so that explains what was going on. But tonight we're gonna bring you episode 5 review, Dear Mama, the final episode. I think most people that know the Tupac story knows where the 5th episode was going. So I'm not necessarily 100% surprised on the way they went, but we did get some sneak information that we maybe wouldn't have gotten, I don't know, in any other documentary. So welcome to the show tonight, HRap. How you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Good. Brothers in the, what was that called? Brothers in the movies.
And
Sneaking in the movie. Hollywood.
Sneaking in the movies, man.
Hollywood Shuffle.
Hollywood Shuffle. Sneaking in the movie.
All right, Wilks, how you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. All right. Ready
Right.
to talk about this episode. It was some things that I learned. I think it brought some things full circle for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree.
Good episode.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get right into it. Some initial thoughts. Wilks, go ahead. You were already starting to talk about it.
Yeah. Like I said last week, it was just refreshing, and I was kind of hesitant to watch it because I was thinking, how many times can we talk about different ways of who murdered Tupac or whatever? But it wasn't even that at all. But that last episode just really kind of like it kind of put the bookend on some things for me. Just kind of understanding, how things were going in his life and Afeni's life, and even just the people around him, and how some people were trying to tell him, hey man, you chill out, you ain't got to do all that. But then in his mind, it's like, yeah, I do have to live up to this. I have to do this.
Right.
This is what I was, in his mind, maybe this is what I was sent for. This is what I was made for. So definitely a great last episode. I saw today, I guess they're finally, I shouldn't have to take this long, but I guess he's getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he would have had one already.
Yeah, I saw he's getting one. But no, great episode.
All right, let's bring in the 4th and honorary Fourcast member. Keisha in the building.
Keisha Knight.
Yeah, what's
The church is in mourning.
Bobby Brown over here came in.
The church is in mourning.
Yeah, you got that Golden Gate Usher uniform on tonight.
How y'all doing?
Hey, side note though, man. Every time I drive past Golden Gate, man, that thing always be packed, man.
Oh, they busy. They want that money, man.
That place be packed every single time.
They always got that money on.
Mm-hmm. They always busy.
Always.
She got the brim.
Yeah, but
got
the
the
church
brim
is
on tonight.
Huh?
Where your cigar at? Your poker hand.
I left that in the car with the gun. But
okay. All right. I
but
figured.
yeah, I'm
and your never mind. I was gonna say
hush
that.
now, hush.
I was gonna say something, but I ain't gonna say that.
Hush now, hush.
I know where you going, Will.
Church is in mourning.
I was gonna say something, bro. Let me go.
Woo!
All right. We just kind of going around initial thoughts. HRap, I'm gonna come to you, and then I'm gonna come to you, Keisha.
Oh, as Will said, man. This is a bow on top of an excellent project. It made me respect Tupac again because the media had put him in such a negative light. in regards to his career and things of that nature. We got a character, they forced us to see the caricature of Tupac. Just let us see the human being Tupac, and then you saw his mother and how empowering he was to the people around him. So it was episode 5 was a drag simply because we knew the end. It was kind of like watching Malcolm X from the time he was on the ground, you
hoping it's gonna be different, but you know what the ending is.
Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah.
All right, let me get to some quick comments before I come to you, Keisha. We got Cole Johnson, Cole Sports in the building. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. He goes live once a week. It's also on BS3 TV on Fridays at 2 Central. He said, Tupac got the Lazarus treatment. He said, Big Illinois in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Anna, thank you for tuning in. Tupac's Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony will take place later this week. Honestly, long overdue, I think. Keisha's about to go out stepping. Maybe.
Not something. She's about to go to trail riders or something.
It just broke me, like y'all were saying, you already knew what was gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But I put myself through that grief 4 times. I watched the movie 4 times, all the way to the end, so just y'all just keep me lifted in your prayers. But the thing I did enjoy hearing his mom speak on his behalf and just speak through it. It moved me so much I bought the book.
Yeah.
I commend you on that.
Yeah, that's big right there. Yeah,
Cole says the media only looked at him for the music he released. He was a far more layered human being. Yeah, man, the music was really just that was him expressing himself. But I like the interviews that we've seen because some of those interviews really showed more of who he was, especially the young Tupac and him in California. You just see his charisma just from the beginning. It wasn't like he was he was trying to be somebody. That's who he was. Theodora, thank you for tuning in. Blue Street. I don't know what that. Arum. What's up, dog? Hey, you can come on, man. Come on, man. You know the ending of this Dear Mama, even if you haven't watched it. So come on, dog.
Yeah,
Come on.
Come
Come on in the room. You know what happened. He died, okay?
Come on in the room.
Come on in the room. All right. Hey, Sister Harper. And Cole says, to your point, Keisha, Tupac's power is undeniable. I would have loved to see what he could have done past the age of 25. I agree. If he got to 30, I mean, everything he did in 25 years is beyond amazing. Somebody said it, I think, on the first episode. He lived like 4 lives in just the 25 years. So, and not a lot of people can say that.
When one on the
Thank you.
He gone. He gone, dog. He gone.
He's still down in Barbados.
Dog, the church is in mourning. He gone.
He go. Hey, real quick story. I think I might have said this on the first episode, but when that Source magazine came out right after he died, man, that sparked a lot of controversy. A lot of people was thinking, wondering. Even there was pictures of him on the table, like dead. I mean, and they was like, nah, he's not dead. He in Jamaica or he's somewhere.
He was in Cuba with Assata Shakur.
Right.
Like nonsense. He Black Elvis.
And he talked too much. He talked way too much to be on the low somewhere hiding out. I think that's virtually impossible for him to not be saying anything.
Be low key for long.
Yeah, no. All right, so kind of at the end of episode 4, because I wasn't here last week, he signed to death row. Obviously, that was Suge was kind of his savior, if you will, because he didn't seem to have a way out of jail. So Suge helped him get out of jail. Signed him to the label.
No, not true.
No.
I can't agree with that one. I because even in the documentary, they said that he had work to do. Like he was going to start developing a different way of living. But I think, unfortunately, when he signed up with Death Row, Suge wasn't hearing that. He like, man, I need these albums. I need some music.
Wilks, it's Death Row. Death Row.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Death with an F.
Yeah, my bad.
Death Row.
Like I can't hear it.
Thank you, Lenny Williams. I appreciate it. So
I love you.
But yeah,
9-minute song.
I don't think he was. Suge wouldn't have it. He didn't want to hear it.
No, but I'm saying he was his savior because he helped him get out of jail.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
They even said it on there. They said it in this documentary. They said that his the money from Interscope was gonna get him out of jail anyway. Suge just stood in as the proxy. He just he's literally the dude who delivered. He handed them the check.
Yeah.
And he stood up. He knew the money was coming. So that's why you go there and you pretend to be the savior, because you know if I show up with the check, I'm the superhero.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he was gonna be loyal.
Because he had nowhere to go after that.
He's a predatorial limit.
Oh,
what they say? Ben and Keisha, y'all been
Sister Proctor, would you please
he did a
down
deep dive on this, like it said he was supposed to be a pastor robbed by the enemy.
He could have been.
It probably was a sermon I was sleeping in. I don't remember that.
It smells like she's smoking cigarettes and cooking hog mogs over there. I don't know what's going on right now, but
who you talking about?
How about you?
Why I gotta be smoking hot wings and hot whatever you said. What I gotta be doing?
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
What's up, Chief?
Tupac gone.
Damn, Dawk must be holding out for a contract. We'll all be back. We'll all be back next week.
Make sure you tune in next week.
Can I come?
I'm cool with it. Yeah, it's called.
You've been
we'll
on a
talk
roll.
about it at the end. Yeah, you've been on us for a minute, so
yeah, you might as well. Fifth Beatle, right?
Yeah. All right, so they talked about the amount of stress he was dealing with in episode 4 too, which you could clearly see. And let's touch on this for a minute. A lot of artists, they, when they get their record deal, when they get the money and everything, they bring their family and stuff on. They may be paying people or whatever it may be. And I think that's just us as a culture. When we get on, we want to try to put the other people on.
Right.
I think that was obviously what he was doing. That's what his mission was. And I think he really didn't, whatever he had to do to make sure to try to take care of his people. And his people was black people. And you can see that when he shot the 2 cops in the butt that was messing with the black guy. So
it was pretty
like he loved his people, I think, more than anything. And it was almost it was too, I think it was positive as a positive part of him, but I think also it became a detriment to him too.
Hold on, what's happening over here in Hollywood Square? What's going on?
What you talking about?
You good over there?
Ben, you said, listen, I'm sorry, my camera failed. Keep talking. Bring it on what I'm doing. Go ahead.
I can't help but to see the screen shaking. I'm like, what's going on?
HRap, give me your thoughts on that, and then we'll go around.
Oh yeah, man. When you live in a life like that, man, I'm assuming, just from the look outside in, I'm assuming that has to be an extremely stressful situation. You're not being yourself. One, that has to be stressful. Just not being yourself every day, and then you have to keep up this persona of I'm tougher than leather. And then I'm quite sure he had death threats.
Didn't say that quick.
They didn't mention death threats. They didn't mention all this other stuff. So. And even I forgot the dude name. He was in the Incredible Hulk movie. He was in Pulp Fiction also. He even said this is the first time I was ever done a movie where we had to have security. So
Roth.
Oh, you want Samuel?
I
thought you were talking about Samuel.
Oh no. The white boy who was like who was there with his girlfriend at the diner. I can't think his name.
Okay.
So
his last name was Roth.
Yeah, Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. There you go.
Tim Roth. Yeah. So when you live in a quadruple personality, you're a Pan-Africanist, you're a gangster, an intellect, and just a human being. That has to be stressful. Then, what they just skimmed across the top. You got Haitian Jack, who's a super killer, killer thug. This dude has been to this very day. Haitian Jack is not allowed to be in America. And then you got Jimmy Henchman, who's in jail for shooting Tupac as we speak, among other things. So you're dealing with that situation, and then you writing songs about that and mentioning their names in these songs. So there has to be, and then he's trying to keep up this persona. He knew, everybody and their mother knew that Tupac knew that Smalls and Diddy didn't get him shot, but he had to keep that persona going. So it has to be a stressful situation.
Yeah.
So that's enough to break anybody.
Right. Exactly. Wilks, give me your thoughts on that.
No, I was kind of like pretty much what HRap was saying. I mean, when you live in these different lives, and are you truly living for yourself? Or are you living for others? You're trying, like you said, trying to keep up that persona. I mean, it was just one of those things where that's why I said for me, it was like, man, why can't he, change that direction? But he couldn't change that direction because he was in the middle of something. So it was kind of like he only knew, I guess, really when the time was right to change it, or when the time, I guess he felt like when he needed to back off a certain situation. But yeah, I just always couldn't wrap my mind around it. That was just me being ignorant, because I was just like, man, he's so, he's well sourced, I guess, and people around him. I'm thinking, well, all he has to do is just pretty much snap his finger and change that thought or that direction. But that's not really the case, especially when you're so entrenched and you have something to live up to, because other people, he probably didn't know how to handle that. I guess maybe people calling him out, so he had to stick with what he knew, So it was just kind of one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah. And then just being who his mom was, like they said throughout this documentary, it was in his blood. It was in his blood to be just that type of person that defended his people, number one, but number two, just went all out, because his mom went all out when she was when they talked about the book, when they talked about when Tupac died and how she was so focused on going around and speaking, like they were one of those people that were just laser focused on what they were doing. Keisha.
Yeah, I don't know. When you said that just now, it made me think about that cousin. I guess that time she said we never had time to grieve. Because they were so busy and trying to get all these speaking engagements and everything. They just everything about that just kind of it kind of hit home a little bit, because I didn't allow time to grieve. I never really allowed time to grieve. But and I'm like, dang, maybe that's part of my problem. Maybe that's why I'm so so bad sometimes. Well, we say it's slick stuff sometimes. Maybe I just need to I need to get somewhere and chill out and deal with my innermost emotions and feelings and thoughts. Yeah.
Sometimes, man. I mean, like she was saying,
strong.
But like she was saying, she was going to therapy. Like I think we as a people don't allow ourselves to talk out things. Don't allow ourselves for that time to grieve, and it shows up in other areas, I think, in our lives. Go ahead.
Well, I tried therapy, and the lady quit. So I think I gave her too much, and then a couple of days later, I saw it at pizza Papa John's pizza, picking up pizza. I thought something happened to you. She just quit. And I had another therapist, and he was just, I'm not gonna call his name, but he was just no. And I had turned him loose too. So I figured, whatever I need therapy in, I can fix it.
You might be just having to find the right one. You need to find a librarian or something, somebody that don't have no interest in you.
You want about going home discussing me over dinner? I had this crazy woman.
Just find one of the winos at the gas station.
He may want me to go buy something.
They'll talk.
They'll talk and listen. Now they may not be talking about what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but they will talk and listen. Though,
they will talk.
They will. They will express themselves.
But I'm gonna head on down to Dawson Road a little later.
Oh yeah, they're right there. They're right there. Yeah,
you know if y'all need anything.
They're over there. They're over there.
I need anything.
Yeah, they got you. Go take you that catfish basket over there while you're at it.
Oh, word?
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, you'll be waiting for a good minute.
It'd be fresh though.
Cole said he was going to be a revolutionary. I understand how that energy is being the son of a Black Panther. Yeah, I mean, like it was in his blood. You can't. You're just charged with wanting to help those.
Can you imagine how many
exactly
meetings he probably seen or been to or overheard? I mean, he just
appreciate that. Together we break. Appreciate that. Make sure to follow her on YouTube. I tried therapy and the lady quit. Keisha, therapist destroyer.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
I got it on a T-shirt.
All right. So Afina went to Clark in 2004. Afina,
not Athena.
Sure. Not Afina. Oh, Afini.
Knee.
Afini. Excuse me. She went. I was wondering if I was there when she went to Clark. That was 2004. I think I was there. I just don't remember. I don't remember seeing her, but maybe I happened to be there. I don't remember. But so Jasmine Guy actually wrote the book, which I did not know that. That was very interesting. And her entire part of this documentary, I didn't know how involved she was with the family. I knew there was some type of connection, with Tupac, but I didn't know the connection with the mom as well. Was that something that you guys knew before watching this?
I didn't know until like after the death of Tupac, and I think she was interviewed on something, but even then they didn't really go into it. She just mentioned how they were friends, and then even with Jada Pinkett Smith, I didn't realize that they had known each other. And I think it was like she was on a Tonight Show or something, and they had a picture of them at Six Flags or something like that. But they were really young. I don't know if he was starting his music career at the time, but the Jasmine Guy thing, I'd heard of that before, but I didn't know how. Even when she wrote I didn't even know she wrote the books until they showed this. But
she sure did age poorly. I just had to say that. I'm sorry.
You just had to say that.
Yeah, she aged. Oh, she aged bad. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, when they say black don't crack, they talking about dark skin.
They lied. She been
they talking about dark skin black don't crack. And I'm talking about light.
Wait a minute, you talking about like mocha chocolate like me?
Yeah, I'm talking about like you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the high yellow
the lighter persuasion sometimes does not.
So light bright up top over there.
Sometimes it don't work out all the time.
I see.
Now, did y'all talk about this? Did you guys talk about Jasmine Guy visiting Tupac in jail? I don't know. I think that was I think that was the earlier episodes, though. I thought.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, she was involved with him, the person. I don't think from what they were explaining was any type of intimate relationship. It was more so she was her. They were friends.
Yeah.
She looked out for him. For real.
Yeah,
go ahead. I
didn't think that anything was. I mean, if it was definitely hush hush. But I mean, it was more of like just kind of a friend of the family kind of thing.
She probably making them biscuits. You know how old women be in there making them biscuits. She probably making them biscuits and cutting them up.
Just making some drop biscuits with some apple butter.
Biscuits, some chocolate chip cookies out the roll, Pillsbury roll. He went over and recovered there. Once, twice. He stayed there after he got out of jail.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably cooked.
Yeah, they were making biscuits already.
Listen, let me tell you something. Don't do this, please. Don't do this. This is a family. This is a family show.
Hey, I know this ain't a family show.
What does that mean? What is that?
The kids.
I just thought I'd say something.
Oh, no kids should be watching this show.
No, please.
At all.
And if you are watching this show, get in the bed.
Get your mama or daddy and tell them that you shouldn't be watching this.
Right.
Go ahead, HRap.
Please turn the show off, please.
Yeah, I mean, after watching this, I was thinking Jasmine Guy is the legal definition of friend, because unlike Jada Pinkett has mentioned Tupac. When she going to the bathroom, I'm finna drop a deuce for Tupac. It's always there. But Jasmine, he went to her crib, like Keisha said. He went to her crib after he got shot. He was wounded. He went to your friend's house. Your friend never said a word about this. Your friend wrote your mother's book. Your friend was all clearly, they didn't go in depth about it because she didn't want to be the star of this. I feel as if she said, no, we're not going to talk about me and Tupac's friendship. We're going to talk about Tupac. And which, again, this is the epitome of friendship, because I'm not going to make it about me, because it could have easily been another episode displaying Jasmine and Tupac's and Afeni's relationship, but she kept it about the family, which I totally respect her, even though she aged like fruit.
Oh, I wasn't the only one noticed that she had spoil face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And her voice is heavy. She probably been smoking for years.
Yeah.
But I think her voice was always. I think her voice was always like that. She was just trying to, okey doke with the Whitley voice. I think it was.
But she got like rasp in it too. I was just trying to tell the story of a fitted.
Like she smoke a pack a day. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's stressed, man. I don't know.
2 packs.
Everybody going through something. All right. Poetic, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you for coming through on the YouTube side. Make sure to subscribe to her channel. So they did get to the point, which this was also in the Tupac movie, how Tupac wanted his masters. And he did his obligation to the label. They wanted the 3 albums. He did the 3 albums. But obviously, when you're dealing with somebody like Suge, it's just not gonna be 3 albums and then you out.
No,
because I like Dre's aspect to this too. He was saying I was wanting off of Death Row for a minute before Tupac even came on, and then Snoop even had some intuitions of what was going on. So I think that's which they did touch on it. I'm glad they brought it up. But what do y'all think would have happened if Tupac would have got his masters and he would have been out from Death Row? HRap.
Well, it was rumored that they were talking about opening a Death Row East. That was supposed to be Suge's way of keeping him on Death Row. Mm-hmm. And he's supposed to be working with Eric B and other people. But if he got his masters, I think he did. I think it would have been a delayed reaction to what he was talking about doing. He started talking about doing movies, writing movies, directing movies. He would have taken off. He'd have become a freedom fighter. He'd have been a community activist. He'd have did the things that his mother inspired him and directed him to do. But like most people, when you pushing hundreds of millions of dollars in somebody's face, Suge Knight's gonna try to take advantage of that. And he saw the loyalty in Tupac, so he exploited it.
Yeah, he used it to his advantage. Mm-hmm. I mean, and he did I ain't gonna lie, he did a hell of a job with it. I mean, because and that goes back to the loyalty. Tupac was loyal to you if you were loyal to him, if you looked out for him. Now in retrospect, obviously he wasn't truly loyal to him. He more so wanted what he can give him. But yeah, and Cole says Suge was going to always hang over Tupac's head. I'm the one that got your freedom back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I wish he did get his masters back because Suge was just a terrible person. Hey, do y'all believe he gave Eazy-E the AIDS?
I don't know about believe
that. That's been a rumor for a while. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't got it.
So like he done gave Eazy-E the AIDS. I mean, what more? How much more wronger? And I know it's not word. Could he be? Yeah. And then they had Snoop in the back of the plane, hold up like this with a knife in his hand. We can sleep with one eye open.
Right.
I mean, that was a telltale story.
Right.
Get out.
I mean, get out. Like the movie. Yeah, exactly.
And now he owns the company.
Right. Going full circle. Real round of applause, man, for Snoop. Just to get the label back, and he cussing out Suge, he in jail. Now, if Suge get out at any point in time, I don't know.
He in a wheelchair? What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I'm trying to tell you, he gonna want them, but somewhere to sit down.
Be some furniture moving around.
I think Suge Knight is the biggest
diabetic ankle.
I think Suge Knight as a tough guy is overrated.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
what?
Go ahead, HRap. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I mean, he's just a big dude. He like like I've had this conversation several times. He a pit bull.
Very diabetic. Oh, I love you too, baby girl.
Yeah. He just, I mean, think about it, man. This dude, he used to get a group of people to beat you up. You ain't never heard about Suge Knight whooping nobody. He would always have a gang of people beating him up.
Right.
I looked at him like I said, a pit bull. If you walking down the street and it was a dog coming at you, you stomp at the dog, right? See if the dog, scary dog, then you'll make your next move. You wouldn't stomp at a pit bull. Why? Because it's a pit bull. Because you like, he might be scary, but it's a scary pit bull is a wolf. And Suge Knight, 6'5", 300 pounds, 350 pounds. You don't really want to fight that guy. But a lot of that stuff start wearing off. Next thing you know, you hear him get knocked out in Brooklyn. You heard him get knocked out on 21st Street here in Chicago. You heard him when people start being scared, they start knocking him out. So that's why I said, nah, man.
Well, he probably never jumped in the fight because Wilks said he had diabetic ankle.
He does have diabetic ankles.
Plus, he knew people. Like to your point, HRap. I don't know. Now there was a scene in Straight Outta Compton where he beat some dude up, and I don't know if that dude. I don't know. Somebody took his parking space or something. It was like a parking attendant.
Yeah,
it wasn't like it was,
space.
Him squaring up with somebody for real. It was more like him just being a bully. I think that's probably the best word to put him. He
tried that today. Somebody gonna just shoot him. They ain't gonna ask no questions.
Ain't no. And we not just doing fists. I mean,
no, they ain't got time for bullshit.
Pick up a chair.
They gonna shoot his ass.
I ain't never seen no dude that all the scary dudes that I know, you never know that they supposed to be that scary.
Right.
And this is Cole's comment to your point, HRap. Our pit bulls are not as scary as you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Funniest dogs in the world. They make horrible watchdogs.
My daughter has a pit, a blue one, and Doobie Doo is very sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the
I had pits with no problem. I think it's just the people who certain
perception.
Mm-hmm.
The perception and the media created like pit bulls are the most dangerous dog.
Suge Knight.
Yeah. Suge did a big red move on somebody. My office hours from 9 to 5. Hey, we had to do that. We had to do that as a throwback.
And then think about it, man. When you look at Suge Knight, right? He ain't never run up on nobody, man. I mean, he's not
going up on Master. You never heard of it. Yeah.
He ain't never run up on Jay Prince.
He
ain't run up on Luther Campbell. And these dudes who have reputations,
he know better. He ain't gonna
run. Yeah, and Snoop went to No Limit. Yeah,
right.
So if he really wanted something, he could have went. He could have went there.
And look at it this way: Suge didn't even run up on Puff Daddy, man.
He know better.
Right. He know better. What I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's just a big enough dude that you really don't want to fight. But if you mess around and fight him, you might knock him out. It's real. It's easy to be tough with 14 bloods standing behind you.
Right.
True.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the whole thing going to Vegas. There was a comment that was made. I don't remember who made it, but it said Suge told maybe that was the cousin. She said Suge told him not to wear his vest because he was really focused on wearing his vest because he didn't know what was going to happen. He didn't know who had his back. He didn't know, what was going on. I 100% believe. I don't know. And let's talk about this. I don't know if Suge had direct involvement in what happened to Tupac, but he would have been somebody that would have directly benefited even more because, like Biggie said, you nobody till somebody kill you. Nobody. A rapper is more lucrative, and they make more money dead than they do alive.
Artist, period.
Yeah, artist, period. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. So let's dive into that. What's your thoughts, Wilks?
I don't know. I've heard things about Suge, even when that picture that they show when they're leaving the hotel or they're leaving the fight. They say Suge, Suge doesn't look at the camera or anything, but Pac does. But I don't know. It's just rumors and speculation.
But that the look on Tupac's face, man, that I don't think I'll ever forget that photo ever, because he just that look in his eyes. Either I just wonder what was going through his head, because that look wasn't like,
I mean,
what's up, y'all? That look was like something about to happen, is what it looked like.
Right. Even to like what you said, it's almost like, I mean, you don't. I guess you don't speculate, but you just feel like it's almost like, hey, somebody come get me out this car. You know, I don't know, you know, kind of thing. You know, it's just.
I feel like Snoop has. I mean, not Snoop. Suge has something to do with it.
I can see that.
I really do.
I can 100% see it.
My thing is, okay, did Suge catch any bullets?
Right. They never said
one in his head.
He got grazed.
And I'm wondering, like, oh, hey, you're in the car. Did he make some shots? You know,
right.
Tupac too. So it's when like I told me that photo. When I saw that photo, that's like the only thing that flew through my mind. Like, why am I in the front seat with this dude? You know, why am I going somewhere with him? I feel like he totally had something to do with it. By
himself, no other bodyguards, nothing. Just kind of.
Snoop said he asked him twice. He said, "Hey, you going to the fight?"
Yeah.
The first time he just waved him off. The second time he just walked off. So like,
because they were saying he didn't want to go. He really didn't want to go.
There was a lot of questions that was involved there. HRap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of rough. I mean, like being from a gang infested city and gang culture is heavy here. That's one of those things, man. You put your hands on somebody and they will kill you. You put your hand on a known gangbanger, and then y'all put hands and feet on it. Y'all didn't just whip them. Y'all put hands and feet on him.
You stomped this dude out.
That's the recipe for destruction. I mean, I'm thinking about this dude's name. That's why I laugh. His name Dion. He just got out of the penitentiary for 20 years. And at one point, Dion was so notorious in Chicago. I remember me, Brian Allen, and this dude named Benito. We were standing on a corner of North Avenue and 2nd, one of the biggest streets in Chicago. And Dion walked up, and we just started looking around. And then he left. We were like, man, I'm glad that dude gone, because he be into too much. So
he bringing
you
trouble.
put your hands on somebody who is a known gang member.
Yeah.
And he was a Crip. So
he's a Crip, and this dude
was a Blood. I mean,
he was running with the Bloods, right? So
there's.
Now, I don't know if Suge had anything to do with it, but I think I would put money on Suge used him as a shield.
Yeah, and you remember the guy, Ray Love, was his friend, and they grew up together. He said the story goes that Tupac covered when the shots were being fired, he covered Suge. And now, obviously, that's hearsay. Who knows what exactly happened? But I don't know. I don't know if I 100% doubt that, because when he was getting rolled away and somebody asked him who did this, he said, F you. So
it was the police. He ain't gonna tell the police.
Yeah, you're not gonna tell the police nothing.
Yeah,
police,
Even Riley on the Boondocks said you don't tell the police.
No, we don't talk to the police.
I got a question for you guys. Remember they were showing all those still pictures of Tupac. He was sitting on the floor and he was just chilling and stuff like that. He had his shirt off. He was just chilling. There was just a bunch of still shots. You know, I don't know if y'all caught this. If you look closely at those pictures, you can see the holes in his body from the original shooting.
Yep, you seen it.
It was in the Nefertiti on this side. Nefertiti had a hole, and I was like, this is sad. Because this dude is sitting here with holes in his body.
Right.
You could see when he had his shirt off, I think he was at the end, they were doing, it was just him standing there, and they did kind of
you can see,
you could see the bruises, or the skin that was
keloided over.
Right. I mean, like this, his life was not peachy from the beginning, which they talked about that, just from being born in that era with what was going on and who your mother was. It's not like your mother was just a part of the Black Panther Party. She was a prominent leader as a woman, which there wasn't a lot of women leaders.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
so, it was a lot. It was a lot. They don't get the press, but sisters in New York weren't playing, man. Feeney Shakur, Asada Shakur, Kathleen Cleaver. Hey, man, I bet you if you can go in a time machine, Those white men who was messing with the Panthers, they let all them brothers out of jail and just deal with them talking brothers, them talking educated brothers. Because Kathleen and Afeni and all those sisters, they were talking about blowing things up. They ain't no more talking with them.
Right.
And that's why they let Afeni out. That's why they let her out first, because they knew she was gonna take care of business. If the dude was, I don't know what they would have done, but they was like, we gonna put the money up for you first, because you can help all of us.
Right.
Which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, time for talk was over with. We done with that. We passed talking.
This is a great point. Parallel to what Diddy with Biggie. Now,
you've heard that one.
I don't know. We'll never know. But again, who would have benefited most? It would have been Diddy. But
I don't think it's a benefit for Biggie or Diddy or Knight, especially Knight. Knight can't afford. Think about it, man. Tupac died and Death Row died right with him.
Right.
Because then everybody left. Yeah.
There was nothing else to do on Death Row.
It was over.
Now Diddy has taken off. He's taken off.
Didn't he have Michelle left on?
But he was stomping her ears together.
Yeah.
He was beating her to sleep.
Stomping her ears together. I ain't never heard that before.
It's a horrible documentary, a little movie Michelle A got on Netflix. I wouldn't watch it at gunpoint again. But if 25% of that stuff she was telling is right, Suge and Dre are the two biggest punks in LA. Dre, according to her, Dre took a shot at her.
Yeah,
they was on some sucker stuff, man. No,
you're right. Death Row was dead, and Bad Boy definitely, but and Diddy had more acts on the label too. He had 112, he had Faith, he had Total, he had.
And he was signing.
He had more of a label. I think Death Row was essentially a lot of rappers that were good rappers, but
and the NC, everybody always say, man, Diddy got him killed, but people don't realize Smalls had his own label with Entertainment with and guess who was signed to the label? Diddy.
Really?
He was writing an album for Diddy. He turned his publishing over to Diddy for $200,000 to start Entertainment. Then he turned around, created Entertainment, and signed Diddy and wrote his rhymes. Because when you got publishing, if I make a song, you get the money. But if I write the song, I get the money. He was writing for C's, he was writing for Kim. He understood the game. So I don't think Diddy is as bad as he is. Diddy is a bad individual in regards to, I think he's just a trash individual for still using the same contracts and music that George Clinton got screwed over on. All those people from the 60s and the 70s, y'all still using that contract against people in our community. I think that makes him a trash individual. But in regards to a businessman and a mogul, I think he was killing it. And people say, hey man, Diddy was cheating people. And then everybody, I look at it this way, and y'all can respond, please. Who blew up after they left Diddy?
What was that you say?
Who blew up after they left Bad Boy?
Nobody.
Not Mace, nobody really.
Nobody.
Mary J. Blige is the only person who was up under Diddy who left and became the show.
But also that was on Uptown under.
No, I'm just saying she was rolling with Diddy from the word go.
Yeah,
she separated from Diddy and blew up, and then she's still rocking with him. The Locks, they've been on the Breakfast Club several times saying, "No, man, we was just tripping. We was trying to get off the label."
Yeah,
nobody said. Only person that speaks poorly of him is Mace. And he got Down syndrome, so
And Mace,
wow. Mace ain't got no Down syndrome.
That man eyes this far apart.
Down syndrome.
Funny. No, he doesn't. He's
not Down syndrome.
That's not funny. We don't make fun of Down syndrome.
A side note, though,
I ain't making fun of Down syndrome. He got it though.
No, he doesn't.
A side note: him and Cameron's podcast is hilarious, man. If y'all haven't seen It Is What It Is,
not at gunpoint, son.
Have you watched it?
No, I'm not watching that.
It's not real sports. It's not real sports talk. I'll tell you that right now. But it is hilarious though, because they just be talking.
I'm not watching that.
Now,
Special
your
Ed
point,
podcast.
Wow. Special Ed podcast.
So your point with the Diddy contract.
Are you starring in it?
Whoa. That's what we're doing, huh? That's what we're
doing. What were you saying, Ben?
Huh?
What were you saying, Ben?
Anyway, the point HRap you're talking about with the Diddy contracts, it's a two-way street. At some point, we cannot just sign papers because Diddy gave it to you. Like, and there was a history with this too. So at some point, we have to get someone, I don't care who it is, maybe your mama, maybe a lawyer, maybe someone that you know, to look at the contract. Because 9 times out of 10, Diddy's gonna screw you over. Which it had to have been known.
Look at those TV shows he had.
It had to have been known that this was what Diddy did. So for Mace to come out and say, well, this is what happened, like, come on, man. You were like, he was one of the last artists, really, to probably sign to besides his girlfriends and stuff like that would, eventually.
Girlfriend? Who's his girlfriend?
I'm talking about Diddy.
Kim Carter?
Cassie. I mean, he had all these girls that were signed. They was his girlfriend, so I don't know if they really count.
I wouldn't.
But yeah, at some point we gotta. Now, Diddy is wrong for presenting the contract, but also we gotta read the damn contract.
Right.
It's bad boys, man. I ain't read no contracts, man.
Bad boys. Life.
Yeah, take that.
You said pictures.
Who blew up after Diddy? Keith Sweat. No.
Don't do that.
Nobody.
Don't do that.
Diddy benefited the most out of everyone with Bad Boys. He knew how to strike when iron was hot. He was definitely good at dropping one hit of quitters, man. When he had Craig Mack, when that came out, All About the Benjamins, like that was an opportunity. He definitely took advantage of. Okay, Biggie died. Then let's drop this album. Right, it had a lot of great tracks on it too.
Craig Mack was hot before Smalls.
Who was that?
Craig Mack.
Craig Mack was the feature.
Yeah.
Before Biggie blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said Down syndrome. Yeah, he said that.
He do.
Thank you for tuning in. Carmel, she said, hey, everyone, new to this. How are you doing? Appreciate you for tuning in.
How's it going?
But that's how we believed as artists. We got the chance to perform and be glamorous. They figured the money would take care of itself.
Right. Yeah, they ain't reading nothing. Get to work.
It always did. Making the band, I think only Day 26 is still standing there. They are working on an album, really.
Mm-hmm. Really? I know Danny the Kane didn't stay together, I don't think.
Yeah.
I guess there's a little hope.
A little hope there. Little did they realize, unless they were writing songs, these artists are making pennies on the dollar.
Exactly.
And you fast forward to now with these 360 contracts where they get a piece of everything. When you touring, they get a piece of that. Whatever you sell, merch, you get a piece of that.
And Chris Lighty came up with that.
Yeah. Don't forget Sean. Yeah, that's wow.
Pretty much disappeared.
And now he's actually, I think he's the president of Belize. Or he's some type of dignitary in Belize.
Something like
Prime Minister? Okay. But he's Craig Mack was the feature, but Diddy said Big is gonna move you out the way. Yeah. I'm still making music. What you got? What you got? What's your next single? Big Old Noise, what you working on? You and Benita A. Whitfield, what y'all working on?
Hits on us.
Appreciate the comment. Great perspective on episode 5. Haven't watched it yet, but I watch episodes 1 through 4. Sorry, I'm watching the baseball game. Hey, you good? You good?
Yeah, you good.
The 360 deals made artists want to go independent more, which is smart. Now it is a little bit of a tougher road. I get it. But if you look at a lot of success stories, if you look at Master P that started No Limit, you look at Cash Money, eventually they ended up signing Universal, but a lot of what they did was, from what they did independently. All right. Fish Sticks and Onion Rings is my next single.
Hey.
I sue you. You make that song, I'm suing you.
Fish Sticks and Onion Rings.
No, man. He talked me out of this song, man. We could have been rich.
Now, let's go to. They're in Vegas. The guy gets jumped.
Mm-hmm.
When they're showing that, was Tupac? I couldn't really see Tupac. Was he the one that was kicking? That looked like somebody else.
I thought there was somebody else because it was a man with a white hat on and a white dress
Suge
jacket.
was stomping him too.
But I just saw him go to the back. Now I knew that he was probably fighting somebody, but I didn't see him like on that part kicking though. He probably just went and said, "Baddest one hit my hand," and then passed the lick and ran. So.
Knock that stick off my shoulder.
Yeah.
Now this was the first time that I've heard the guy's name, which Orlando Anderson. I don't know if y'all have heard it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I don't think I've heard the guy's name before.
Orlando dead now.
I was about to say I wanted they tried to find him for the interview, but obviously
Orlando died 2 years after that.
He was pretty quiet on that.
Yeah, he didn't.
His cousin kind of snitched on him recently. His cousin name is Keefy D. Keefy D said Orlando snatched the gun in his hand and shot across him to shoot Tupac.
Oh my gosh! Take the gun out of his hand.
Because he was like, shoot him. And Orlando said he froze. And he took it from Keefy.
Wow.
And if you thought Diddy and Barry Gordy shafted people out of money, Birdman, come on now. And he had Lil Wayne since he was a kid. So that dude definitely got jumped.
He claimed that's what they always called him.
Yeah, he was calling his son.
Kissing on the mouth and everything. His name was released the day after the beatdown. Okay, and I don't remember that part. All right, so he was shot 4 times. And I liked, obviously it's sad, but I liked the aspect of what the aunt was talking about, the cousin, and how they said, okay, we was driving down to Vegas. We thought, all right, when we get up here to the hospital, we're gonna be good. Because he was he got shot, I don't remember how many times in the other situation, but I think he got shot multiple times. So they figured, okay, you should be good. And then they get there, you see all the people outside. So I felt like that was a nice perspective. Obviously, it brings up wounds for them, for a lot of people watching this. But Keisha, kind of give me your thoughts on that with the aunt and the cousin, talking about their experience. So they were going to see Tupac in the hospital.
Well, first of all, I will say this: that road they were on, that was not Texas, that was California. That they were driving there. I just want to put that out there. But I mean, I would hate that. You know what I mean? Like you go to go check on your loved one, and then you get there, and everybody is already there. What doing here?
Like, what y'all doing here?
I would have been in my feelings about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I did like the fact that they, after they decided to take him off life support, there were men there that ran with his mom to go jump in that in that minivan so she can just get away. I wouldn't have been happy about that.
Yeah. And to see all the people outside, I mean, that probably would have been a potential sign that, hey, people crying, people running around, like that was, and which they talked about. Tupac was people's pastor. There were people's motivation to continue going. And I think when obviously with him being gone, that obviously affected a lot of people. You can see it with people outside. HRap.
Yeah, man, I think, was just looking at that portion. As Keisha said, it was heartbreaking because we as a society, we don't look at these people as people. Oh man, that's my guy, Tupac. I rock with Tupac. But meanwhile, as his aunt said, bunch of people, children get killed in the streets. But you've never thought about the entire world. Like we talk about Tamir Rice, we talk about sister that the police killed. But we never think about their parents.
Right. The days after, the months after, the years after.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, to the day she died, I bet you that contributed to her heart condition. The stress, like
I'm sure.
That was hard, man. And we don't pay attention to that. We just, oh man, Michael Jackson, oh man, Tupac, oh man, Biggie. You know, how would you like to walk down the street every time you turn your head, somebody talking about your dead child? Like, that has to be painful, man. And I was looking at that and I was like, man, and she still was riding for the people.
Yeah. And she still went on because she could have. I mean, she could have just moved somewhere and never came outside again. She would have definitely had the right to do that.
You think she came outside much on that houseboat?
No, you're right.
She just chilled there.
You're right.
That on that she was just hoping that dock she was on was where what Otis Redding wrote sitting on the dock.
That was beautiful.
Hey, that was a great fact. That was a good fact right there. But I mean, she continued on. I'm sure she definitely had that time. She continued on speaking, encouraging, and I mean that goes to just show the strength of her as a woman, as a person. Wilks, want to give any thoughts on that?
Yeah, there was one thing that stood out to me when they said after he had, I don't know. Well, not really. I guess after he died, I guess just kind of in the moment of what was going on, they had to pack up and leave the house because then they realized he didn't own the house. Yeah. So it was just like, we got to go. Like, we got to get out of here. You know, it's kind of like, you know, unfortunately, it's like maybe they felt like things were caving in at that moment, but it's like now you're trying to balance things. I've lost my son. I've lost my nephew. I've lost a friend. And like you said, and to Keisha's point, it's like you show up, like, what, you know, I kind of feel a certain way. All these people are already here. What's going on? You know, what's happening? And then we speeding off because now they want to try to interview us. It's like, I got nothing to talk about. I mean, I just lost my son, you know. Right. So yeah, man, that just it's like, you know, you're watching it and you just hope for a different outcome every time you see it, and it's like you know what the end is, but it's pretty heavy.
And it was 6 months apart. Yeah, you're right, between Pac and Biggie. And so let's talk about where we were when we heard the news. I know I was at like not a summer camp, but it was like a.
If you're at a summer camp during September, man, you're supposed to be in school, man.
I know I'm supposed to be in school. It wasn't a summer camp. It was like a retreat or something like that.
Oh,
school, or whatever. So we riding back from like San Bernardino. So those that may not know, that's like 4 to 6 hours or something from the Bay Area where I was, and we were riding in that van, and they said it on the radio. We were all just kind of shook because Tupac was definitely, especially on the West Coast, he was definitely one of the best at that time, for sure. So that's where I was. Keisha.
Now, when did he get up out of here again? What year?
96.
90.
You remember the date?
It was September 13th, wasn't it?
September 13th. Okay. Dee Dee was 9 months old. So I was probably at home taking care of her. Wow. And I was in I don't even know if my ex-husband was there or not, but yeah, I was at home with my baby.
Yeah. HRap.
It's probably at work. I think I was at work. It's like I did what Keisha did. My son was just turned 3. He turned 3 in 1996, September 9th. So I was probably at work. I used to work at this place at that time, Vanru Credit Corporation. And I do, like I said last week, I remember this dude, Lewis Walton. I couldn't remember his name. But Lewis Walton walked in. Me and my man Nolan sitting next to each other. We gonna get y'all back. Tupac died. I'm like, what? And it was unreal because we thought, man, Pac got killed. He really gonna act a fool now. And then a week later, he was gone. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
We all thought he would live, and then
Yeah.
I mean, what he survived before, you're like, all right.
And he was on the ground giving the middle finger. Oh yeah, we definitely thought he was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Wilks.
I was in the 10th grade in high school. I was. I want to rub that in for all the old people, but I was.
All the elderly, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
10th grade.
With love, Keisha. With love, baby.
10th grade. You little wankster. Where'd you go to school?
And of course, what's that?
Where'd you go to school? South Carolina?
No, it was Wilmer Hutchins.
Oh, you should have kept that out. Okay,
You asked. I mean, you asked. I mean. Okay, all right. Well, can I finish?
Of course.
Okay.
Proceed.
Well, thank you, appreciate it. But of course, when it happened, all the girls were going crazy in the halls. They were tearing up, and it was, the girls were very touched. And of course, it was crazy around school because we were like, "What?" Like, nah, because we heard he had been shot, but we were like, "Okay,
right.
well."
Yeah. The expectation was he was going to be good.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like, oh, he'll bounce back. He'll overcome it, or how bad it was. But no, it was crazy.
Getting ready for English class, English too.
We were all late because we were in the hallway.
Yeah. The teachers probably didn't understand. It was like,
the teachers didn't understand what we did. Yeah, no, we were late to class because we too busy. Yeah. Man, it was pretty somber. It was pretty crazy. I'll never forget that one. I mean, it's like, wow, I didn't think I'd hear that.
Yeah.
Now, strange enough, though, I can't tell you, even though when Biggie got killed, I was on my way to the 11th grade, but I don't remember anybody's reaction from that, though.
Yeah, I don't either.
It wasn't as big as Tupac's passing. I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive, but I don't remember anybody reacting.
You're just young.
Like the way they did.
I think he got less of a reaction because Smalls died the same day. He got shot and died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't like a week of
it wasn't
mourning and speculation.
Smalls got shot at 10, about 10:45. He was out of here.
Yeah. Somebody pulled up, somebody pulled up next to him.
Right.
Who was he with?
Yeah, they never said. Who was
the Junior Mafia or somebody was?
I don't know. I never knew.
It was the Bad Boy Crew.
Yeah.
Diddy was in the car in front of him.
Diddy was in the car, yeah. Now, did they shoot at the other cars?
How in the world did nobody notice? The car, if you in the car in front, gunshots ringing out. Well, I don't know.
He probably trying to haul ass so he wouldn't get shot.
Right. Speed up.
Mm-hmm.
Driver.
Inch up a little bit. Yeah, keep going.
There's some white smoke from them tires trying to speed up out of there.
She said white smoke. They may peel it out.
Get little. Make our car little.
Yeah. See ya.
So he was shot 4 times, multiple gunshot wounds to the chest. His ring finger was shot off.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I heard like,
that.
Wow. What?
As much as I've read and researched, I didn't know that part until just now.
I didn't know, until the documentary. I didn't know that.
And then we had the great Jesse Jackson was there. I didn't know Jesse Jackson was Jesse.
He don't seem to go over too well with some of the performers. Jesse.
Yeah.
No, but Jesse introduced Isaac Hayes back in what was that, Brian, 70 something?
Oh, he did.
Introduced Isaac Hayes, gave him a great introduction. He came Black Moses or Black Jesus, whatever, came out of there and all that gold.
And then the connection.
The
connection they talked about when Jesse was running for, he was running for
president.
President? Was that okay?
President.
And there was a benefit where Tupac acted in Raising in the Sun. So you rewind back to that, and then Jesse being there again. That was an interesting connection. I didn't know either.
Yeah.
But so there, I think people thought, well, Tupac just happened to end up acting. Like, nah, he's been an actor since he was a kid. It was just that he finally got some opportunity to do some big time roles.
Be honest with you, he happened to start rapping.
That's a good point. You're right, because he was in drama club and he was doing a lot. Yeah, right about that.
He kind of opened up to the teacher a little bit.
Yeah,
before they had to move to.
Yep. That's exactly what we're talking about. The Isaac Hayes concert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac went to performing arts school in high school. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. And they talked about how his fashion, and anybody that was interviewed just said he was different. He wasn't like the rest of the crew. He wasn't like the rest of the pack. And
You know,
when mentally he was different too, obviously, because what he experienced.
You know, I was kind of thinking of what HRap had mentioned before. Like, you know, you take these programs out of the schools, but it's kind of like in Tupac's mind, he realized if he moved away from that, that was kind of grounding for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he could do that without judgment. I guess he kind of felt like, you know, maybe from prying eyes. You know, like, hey, I got a passion for this, but I don't really know how to express it to some people because they'll just make fun of me. You know.
Yeah.
But I felt, you know, like the teachers, like that teacher said, you know, he's like, he could kind of tell, you know, when he was having the movie, he said how he just kind of left, you know, and I think Tupac probably sensed that too. Like this is my passion right here.
Yeah.
I'm moving to somewhere else I have no idea about, you know, and it kind of got away. But then of course he started making movies, but he enjoyed the arts.
Yeah. One of the things I really enjoyed about this again is we got to know who Tupac was. We found out we weren't looking at Pac, we were looking at Tupac Shakur.
Tupac.
I think they learned how to separate the entertainer from the human being, like who he really was, like what he does in his downtime. Does he have downtime? What he enjoy, you know, away from the camera, away from people that even the most intimate people that close to him, you know, it's like they don't know who I am when I'm in my downtime, my alone time, you know.
Well, because on Juice, to his comment, he told them, man, everything he didn't give an F about. And he was like that.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So it wasn't much. It was different, but not much.
He was very outspoken. He told you what was on his mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Even when in the beginning when he was at some type of meeting and the lady was like, "Please don't cuss your man." He was like, "Oh, y'all mother."
I'm gonna talk loud.
That's the next thing he said, and I'm sorry about that, but all y'all y'all need to know what I'm saying.
Right.
Go ahead.
But like you said, it was in him.
I was just agreeing with them.
Okay. Tupac's interviews to me was the most riveting thing about him. I agree, man. Like you got to see him sharing his thoughts, and that's what he was truly sharing, how he felt. You know, some people say, "I'm gonna tell you like it is. I'm gonna keep it real." That's how he was at all times. I don't think there was any time in at least in this and in multiple interviews that he was BSing. And I think also the aspect that I did like was Shock G and him, because him sharing his perspective and how he felt, and that was from an older documentary. And rest in peace to Shock G too.
Yeah.
But that was another great part. Another great part about this. I loved how people were taken aback by how intellectual he was. Yeah, the dude was smart. He wasn't stupid.
Yeah.
By no means. Yeah.
By no means.
He didn't have a choice.
Right. His mom made him read books if he was acting up.
No joy. Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, he had a choice, but he didn't really have a choice.
Right.
You know what?
And Wilks brought this up earlier today. Billy Garland. There was some mixed stories out there, like he was dead, but he's not. There was an interview actually that was, I think, released like 4 days ago, and they've like chopped it up. But
it was like 4 minutes.
Yeah, and he was talking. They asked him the question, you know, was Tupac bipolar, and he said no. I mean, all the things that he experienced, you would have multiple emotions as well. So I'll try to find that and put it in the chat. But that was a good clip, and they, like I said, they kind of chopped it up. But he said he didn't like Dear Mama at all, because Allen Hughes came to him, in his words, and said, "Hey, I want to do this interview with you," but he didn't tell him what it was for. Now, so he finds out it's Dear Mama, and I think his riff was it had his ex in it, and I think that was kind of his riff. So I don't know if he agreed, he disagreed with the documentary. I think he agreed it was centered around his ex. That's kind of the gist that I got from what he was saying.
And I don't see what. Well,
they probably had a history that maybe he didn't want to be brought up, or
Well,
whatever.
that's why his dusty ass wasn't in the interview. Whatever.
Oh,
All right.
but like watching it though made it feel like Tupac was still alive. Can y'all believe it's been almost 27 years ago?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
it's still crazy.
Like,
Well, even with
crazy.
even into that, the Coachella thing blew my mind. That was 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's 10.
I was like, that was 2012.
Yeah.
You know, when they started
years
bringing them
ago.
holograms out, I was mad about that. I ain't going to no concert, no hologram come shooting up.
Hey, Prince said, do not put me on no hologram. Don't even.
Don't
Prince
do it.
said, you will not put me on no hologram.
Do it.
You know, what really touched me? Well, it didn't touch me. It just made me look at it funny. Well, not funny, but
good point, Golden. Good point, Golden. Yeah.
What's that?
So I don't think he was bipolar.
He was just a young man. He was 24 years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I
totally agree with that.
Well, you know what tripped me out? When you see Mike Tyson and Tupac, they pretty much the same person.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the same person. Custody Amato trained him in what he knew how to do. Shock G trained him in what he knew how to do. And they were just living without, like you just talking about his father. Just imagine, it just shows you that you need that positive male influence, unless you will have a Suge Knight type come in, or Don King come in and exploit them. Wow. And look where they end up at.
It's because they're driven by the dollar signs and the comfortable life. They don't want to hear oh, that's good. I know you're trying to better the community or show a different way of life or living and experiences, but that ain't making money right now. We ain't talking about that.
Right.
But what would y'all have done if y'all saw that bully twist that bird head off and throw it at Mike Tyson? If y'all was all standing there.
Oh, man.
Like, bro,
like
who?
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Like, what's
wrong with you, man?
What's wrong with you, man?
And threw the head at him.
Right.
Yeah. And for Mike Tyson to get choked up, I didn't know their relationship was that close. I did not know that. I knew they probably knew each other, but the way Mike Tyson was talking, they were talking leading up to the fight. He hugged them after the fight.
Yeah.
So like I didn't know that there was a lot of history there. And
I thought he actually walked out with Tyson. I think he actually walked out with Tyson.
Maybe.
I mean, and then I had heard, like, if you catch it, if you're paying close attention, you hear Mike Tyson say, "I told Pac, if you don't slow down, when I'm getting up out of here, they're gonna be putting you in here." Right. And I've heard several instances in which Mike Tyson reached out to prominent athletes and told them, "You need to relax, man." He did that with Riddick Bowe, from what I understand.
Who hadn't heard that name in a long time?
Riddick Bowe.
All right, so I'm posting that clip. It'll probably take you to the full interview as well, but it was like a 4-minute clip about Billy Girl and Tupac. So I wanted to touch on Afeni and just how when Snoop was there, and how she just went into mom mode, knowing her son just died, and Snoop comes in like man. She's like, "Nah, man, you can't be looking down. You gotta go in there like Snoop."
Yeah.
So it's the power of this woman. Everything she went through and experienced, her son just dying, and then she's lifting up and encouraging other people. I mean, it doesn't get any more powerful than that. I think.
I agree with that.
I think she's someone that embraced that years ago. I think she knew that was the cycle of life. Now, unfortunately, when it hits home, it is just a crushing blow. I mean, feels like it leaves a hole in the center of your chest. But I think she also realized that, I've been on this battlefield a long time, and I've seen casualties, and it's like, of course, she's watching. She knows the world is crazy about Snoop. She knows the world's crazy about Pac. She knows the world's crazy about rap music and this persona that you have to keep up. But in the meanwhile, I'm still gonna hold it down. I'm still gonna be nurturing. I'm still gonna spread this word. I'm gonna preach it. and I'm gonna lift up my community because she's seen that, she's seen her people hurt for a long time. So it's like she didn't lose a step. Now, like I said, once again, in her alone time, she dealt with that the way she dealt with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, she knew rising to the occasion was, just something she was used to.
Yeah. Something she did.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And Mike, when you look at this, you just see, when you look at Afeni Shakur's, like, you see how hard it is to be a mother, a black mother in
Black
America.
mother. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because at your worst, you're asked to be somebody else's crutch. And he didn't ask her, Mama Shakur, look out for me. Yeah. It just kicked in.
Yeah, right.
I just look at the sisters and it just, you don't really, like I said, remember I said just the first episode, it ain't that I needed to fall back in love with my mother, but it took me back to this one day, and I gave my mother the first gift I ever gave my mother without saving. And I was like, and she was like, I ain't never had this. And then when she said what she said, literally, man, I went from thinking my mother was a drill sergeant, even though I still call her that to this day, but it's in a more affectionate thing. I understood my mother. December 13th, 1994, I understood who my mother was. In that moment when she said, I never had that. You thought they bought, she literally said this to me. She said, you think that I was buying Get a Kid and they gave it adult free? And all the times my mother told me no in my life, I realized she wasn't saying no. She was saying, I can't afford this. But because of who she was, my mother was no. And it was like, oh, she tripping. And all that she tripping disappeared. And I'm looking at Afeni Shakur's chair of Snoop Dogg. I'm looking at Afeni Shakur in these talk shows, uplifting other people. And
absolutely. I mean, that's why I said
be the best person you can be.
It was in her. Yeah, I think she answered the call. Who knows how long ago? I mean, it was just in her to do it, and as she went on, she crafted that thing which she embraced. It was just, like I said, it was another breath for her. It was just easy, just like, this is nothing.
That's exactly what it was. It was the first time I looked at my mother and I was an adult. And that's why, it's just, I rediscovered Tupac doing this, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I used to hate Dear Mama. And the first thing that came to my mind every time I heard this song, I don't relate to this. And now I relate to it. At 52, I go, oh
yeah. Right.
Yeah. And I think this is this was not just a documentary, but this was like a motivational speech. I mean, like, to see his life, to see Tupac's life, and to see his mom's life, and to see how they became who Tupac ended up being, and who his mom ended up being. There was a lot of motivation in this. And even, my daughter, she watched this last episode with us. Obviously, got language and stuff, but I'm like, she needs to know who Tupac is.
Absolutely.
She needs to know who he was, not what maybe somebody may tell her or what she may hear from somewhere else. Like, this is a story that we need to know, and our kids need to know, because they weren't just two people. They impacted the world. They impacted culture, period. So want to throw that in.
No, absolutely.
Keisha, you want to add anything? You don't mute.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't know I was on mute. No, I don't want to add anything to that. No. All right. So Tupac left. So I knew he had music left. I did not know he had 400 songs, they said. 400.
Yeah.
Like, and that goes back to that goes back to the schedule. The guy that was, I don't remember his name, but he did one of his videos, and somebody told him, man, I can't do the video. And he was like, well, you want to do it? I mean, he gave people opportunity, but he said his schedule was so hectic. He went from video shoot to movie shoot to the studio. And then he would get up at 5, and then he was trying to get his Outlaws boys up. I mean, like but when you think about how he died and what happened, he was working towards a purpose. Like I think Shaji said, even when he was gone, he left like a blueprint of what to do. And
Right.
the dude was just recording like crazy. So 400 songs, I didn't know that exact number. I just thought, all right, he had a couple albums, but this dude had
I didn't
a library. Yeah. Anything that Tupac was about, it is difficult not to be motivated from the story. I agree. Dude recorded 8 songs every recording session, in which they talked about that, how he was different because I think they were saying he just stayed in the booth and they would just play another beat and he would rap. They would play another beat. He didn't come out and listen to it. He just went in.
Man, before we close out the show, can we play a Gangsta Party, please?
We can, but it will be copyrighted though.
Tupac, huh?
I said we can play it, but it'll be copyright. So we don't own it.
Oh, okay.
So I can probably play it.
Unfortunately, they'll pull.
Maybe I can play it on my ALEXA.
Wow.
All right. He tell producers after he finished one song, throwing the beat on, and I got something for it. 2 America's Most Wanted. Why?
Hey, ain't nothing but a gangsta pie.
Yeah. and I wanted to talk about that interview when Tupac was just talking, and then they put the camera on Snoop, and Snoop was like, "Yeah, I ain't really got nothing to say." Or
he was kind of looking down, like, "Nah, man, I ain't got nothing to say, man."
He was like, "Hey, man, we ain't gonna be quiet, man. I gotta go." But it was good seeing the young Snoop too, man. And
it was.
You forget. People forget that he was on trial. People forget that he had a case. People, that wasn't living during that time forget what these guys went through, what Snoop went through, and
that's
so
why
he was probably like, I'm good. I don't need to be on death row involved in all this. I don't need to be going to jail.
But didn't he write a song about that?
That's what the most wanted.
Yeah.
But then one of these 7, but also too, but the 2 most wanted. That's where that also came back from. Because at the same time, Snoop was still dealing with the case. He was like, "Man, I still got a case pending."
Right.
Yeah, 2 America's Most Wanted. That's just that and California Love. Can we play California Love?
Hey, man, I remember that coming on the radio. And me putting the tape in and recording that. Man, that song.
Yeah.
That
and then
one,
even the video, because the video was based on Mad Max. On the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's true. I was like, okay, I just saw the Tina Turner video. I'm like, okay, got it. Okay.
It was based on that. That's where they kind of got the inspiration from.
A song that changed. I got changed on was "To Live and Die in LA." I liked the song, but for whatever reason, when I saw that video, I liked it even more.
Yeah. I was supposed to be the girl in the part of California Love when he said shake it, baby, shake. I was supposed to be that guy.
I was supposed to be you.
Yeah, that's supposed to be me, but I had to go to work.
We'll have to see what Roger Zapp documentary has to say about that.
I'll be there. I was there.
He passed away. Roger Troutman.
Oh yeah, he's been.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
For a minute.
His brother killed
so many years ago.
I feel like that was in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, 99.
Passed. He was married to Shirley Murdoch.
Y'all play something for Keisha. I will play something. I'll play a little snippet. At the end.
I'm gonna have to send her some music. I'm like, here you go. Play it on the phone or something.
I'm gonna play it on my ALEXA. I can't say a name, but
his brother shot him.
His brother shot. Yeah, he got shot by his brother, didn't he?
Yep.
Was it an argument? It was over money. Something about the money.
I heard it was over something like $40.
Yeah.
Come on.
It was like
There wasn't no real money.
There wasn't no real money.
It was
People
crazy.
So you thought killing him was gonna get you that $40?
Right.
If he didn't have it when he was alive, what you think he had it when he did?
Right.
You
Let him
about to
live
go to
and
jail.
steal it from him.
That was another one that was pretty surprising. I was just kind of
Is he still in jail or did he die too?
I don't remember.
The brother.
Now-
I don't know whatever happened to the brother. Yeah, I don't know.
Now was him and his brother, was that Zap? I'm assuming he was probably in the group.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think this was a performing brother.
Because they had
I'm pretty sure he was
it
probably.
was a bunch of Troutmans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who was the one that had the thing in his mouth?
That's Roger. That was the
Roger.
Yeah, that was Roger.
What I got to say is see a little kiss and a ring.
Come with the hits. Come with the hits.
By Roger Troutman.
So it was an argument between him and his brother, and his brother filled Roger with.
He wasn't trying to hear it, man.
He wasn't trying to hear it. I need that $40, man.
Right.
I need it. All right. So
for the boom boom room.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Not tonight, Cletus.
Come on, Cletus.
I'm just saying, man. For the boom boom room.
So I appreciated Ray Love. I mean, which he was in every episode, but I appreciated him so much at the end when he was taking care of Feeney. It seems like, I don't know if he was living there, but it seemed like he was coming to visit, giving her a medication. And just that touching moment at the end, just him sharing, like, went to go get the medicine, came back, she was gone. Like, that was a powerful moment. And that just shows the impact that Tupac had on his friends, that his friend would take care of his mom until the very end.
Yeah, I think it goes back to that nurturing, that Black Panther, that it's just that movement, that revolutionary, it's like, this is what it has been. This is what it was just kind of used to. So everybody kind of honed, well, not everybody, but I guess those that were close, they just kind of honed in on it. They picked it up. It's like, you care for me and I care for you, and then it's kind of continued.
Yeah. So she passed away May 2nd, 2016. So rest in peace to her. And the aunt gets she was going in. She was one of the best people in this episode too. She told it like it was, and she was not afraid, and I really liked her part of it. Think if that was the inside scoop on. She was able to give the inside scoop on her sister. I think more than really anybody else could have, because I mean she was with him, when everything was going on. So it was a murder suicide, and Larry Troutman was part of Zap along with Roger. Wow. All right, let's get to some final thoughts. I think this may be the easiest rating. I don't think we need to go around. I feel like this was a solid above a 5. If I can give it more, if I had more hands, I would give it more.
Yeah.
But final thoughts. Keisha, I'm coming to you first.
Well, thank you guys for having me and for viewing this documentary. I did learn a lot more about Tupac than I thought I knew. He wasn't just the songs. He was a very intelligent man. So I was so thank y'all for having me. Those are my final.
Glad to have you.
You're welcome. HRap.
Excellent documentary. I'll watch it again. Glad I watched it. I wasn't going to watch it. If you guys wouldn't have reviewed this, I'd have missed out on something excellent. So I'm glad we did it.
Wow. I'm glad you watched it, because it definitely gave you a deeper perspective. I mean, I think that's what we all are wanting, is a deeper perspective on those that have gone on. So we get to know them at a deeper level. All right, Wilks.
I wasn't gonna watch it either, because I was thinking, once again, it's reviewing, how he died and who shot him, and then maybe what his mom did to advocate, trying to find out. I misjudged it, because it was just like another one, like really,
right.
But
we've seen so many,
Yeah, I've seen so many of them. You've heard so many different ways, but I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It definitely some things I did not know, was not aware of, because the talk was on MTV and on Flavor TV and whatever. It was kind of like who he was and what music he contributed. That was it. They didn't really go into like his life story. They didn't go into what he did off camera and behind the scenes. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
There seriously has not been another hip hop artist which made you think so much beyond his or her music than Tupac.
No.
Hello, yeah.
No,
I agree. And to this, and from all the time that has passed, there is still his music is still impactful. What he said is still impactful. You still, if you go on YouTube, I'm sure there's endless amount of interviews, endless amount of clips that are about him being interviewed. And also some of that stuff still relates to today, because obviously we're still going through some of the
I wish they would apply this comment to sports, because I get so tired of people sitting up here trying to compare people in sports. It's like, man, that's a different era, man. You can't.
And let me just say this. Let me just say it's completely off topic. Let me shout out Mr. Cole Sports for his phenomenal grasp of grammar and usage of punctuation and spelling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man.
Made it so much easier to read.
Oh yeah. He is we call him the evil genius, because he's always putting together promos, but the dude is very smart. And I appreciate all the comments tonight. Golden, Big Illinois was in here with us. Anna, Poetic. We got Carmel. Thank you for tuning in. It's the first time. April Showers, Theodore. Together we break. We appreciate all the comments. We'll be back next week. We will be doing Little White Lie, which is available on Amazon. Recommended by the one and only HRap. And so we know this is going to be a good one. And this is right around the time of Juneteenth, so it'll be on the 12th. And definitely come back. It's on, like I said, it's on Amazon. And before we get out of here, I'm going to try to play something real quick. Hopefully a commercial don't play. And it's a commercial.
Because you don't have Prime, do you?
I haven't found a way to get that for free. Here you go.
Well, as we review Little White Lies next week, remember what JR said.
It's a long video.
Why tell the truth when a good lie will work?
I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Why say no when it feels so good to say yes? I'm sorry. I thought we were playing the music.
I can't hear.
Please. No, I don't hear nothing.
You got it on
the music?
No.
Oh, maybe just me. Well, I enjoyed it. It's supposed to play, but it did not. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back better than ever. And this is a 5-micer, man. If you have not seen this, you have to watch
6-micer.
Whatever you think you may know, or you think you've known enough, and you think there's nothing else to learn, you're completely wrong. There's a lot. There's a lot more.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Good try. Yeah. I don't. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I got this mix.
What is
I was trying to play To America's Most Wanted, but for some reason y'all couldn't hear it. So we'll try again another time. But what's coming up tomorrow on the End of the Bench?
It's a good question. Basically, I got this series going about the fight never ends, and Juneteenth is under attack. Yeah. In South Carolina, they have tried to commandeer Juneteenth, and they have Juneteenth posters with Asian people on it, Latino people on it, and white couples on it. And that's crazy.
That's nothing. That's not even remotely what it's about.
Right. I'm like, so I'm gonna talk about that.
I don't feel like they should have a day off work. He's on that day.
Yeah, that's what. I'm gonna mention that. I'm like, how are y'all getting a day off work and y'all made us work?
There we go.
Hey,
Nothing but a gangster part.
ain't nothing but gangster part.
Hey, man, when he rode on a track, man, nobody liked it, man. Hand me on the gun. They got me. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the courtesy of Alexa.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Hey.
All right. Anything else, HRap? I know you were.
It's a couple other things, but that's something that really bothers me. You're gonna commandeer a holiday, you know. I don't see, like, last month was this month is Pride Month. They ain't commandeering that. Last month was Asian Pacific Islander Month. Ain't nobody commandeering that. But as soon as we get our joint, everybody want to get in on it. And it's like, nah.
Yeah, because we be celebrating Cinco de Mayo and enjoying July 4th off and all them days, and
not with the white family on it.
And we be down on Lower Greenville drinking the green beer with the Irish
on St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
Hey, if it's an opportunity for us to party, we can do it, man. I don't care what.
But you won't see no black leprechauns.
But they try to party like us, though.
Well, hey, if you go to that town that the leprechaun was in the tree.
Yeah, so
I ain't touching that. I am not touching that.
That was one of the funniest things on earth, though, man. All right. Also, tomorrow we will have Queen 3 and King. It will be back. Dawk will be in the building once again, so make sure to tune in for that episode as well. And check out all the content, BS3 TV on Roku. If you have a Roku TV or device, you can add that to your TV. We got content such as this. Let's get to some last comments. Well, considering it's not a federal holiday, fools want to pile on and say, this is my holiday. And honestly, a lot of jobs is not giving off.
No, they're not.
The Friday or the Monday.
Mine
me and Wilks not off neither.
We are doing Juneteenth. We are off June 19th.
Not at all.
I'm putting some links on the grill.
They'll quote some white people Martin Luther King though. That's what the white people
they love Martin Luther King. They love him.
Yeah.
And this is so true, Mr. Cole Sports. They didn't know what it was until the pandemic.
Right. Exactly. With a 5-star restaurant, you moonlighting this week.
Here we go.
What plates you selling out the back of the Mustang this week?
Here we go.
All right,
and it was coming eventually. Yeah,
it was coming.
I'm not moonlighting anywhere.
It was coming.
Man.
All right, y'all. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for all the comments, and we'll see you on the flip. HRap, close us out.
As usual, man. Salute to Reggie O'Shea by saying, "Dream those dreams, and man up and woman up and live your dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in technicolor surround sound. And if I owe you something, I ain't got it. Because some jokers told my debit card today, and I ain't got it no more."
Oh, man.
And bought some wine.
Some wine?
Yeah, bought a $59 bottle of wine and a $61 bottle of wine.
Oh, at least they went in with the good stuff.
Xbox.
Lot 45 or something?
Hey, well, this is for them, HRap.
Lord have mercy.
Lord
have mercy.
I look at it to find it and watch it. I'm gonna buy it
next week. Peace.